Hello, this is Danita, and I'm going to show you how to do the new specimen collection process. Specimen collection page is changing. You can still find it in activities and interventions. For those of you who are used to that, you can still see them in the Nurse Collect tab. But there's a little bit simpler way to get to it now. You should have a button in your toolbar, the same toolbar that has the ad hoc and medication administration. If your specimen collection button is not there, once you open a patient's chart, then you can just go clear to the right and there's a little drop down here. So click that drop down and you should see it in there. So there's specimen collection. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, what's new is that we're now going to scan the patient's wristband. So this is the Powerchart process. And so you can use the scanner attached to the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and scan the 2D barcode. That's the little small square one on the patient's wristband. And then it's going to open a list of all the specimens that are due to be collected for this patient. So right now the view that I have is I'm seeing everything. You can set your filters to eliminate some of those items that you'll never collect. So if you're a patient care technician and you're never going to do a blood draw, you can set your filter to get rid of those blood draws. To do that, you're going to click on the little funnel icon. When you hover over it, it says Filter Collections. And right now, my filters are set to view both nurse and lab collect, to see blood orders, non-blood. That's going to be like your urines, sputums, and then respiratories, okay? Which actually sputum would fall under respiratory. And we can hit save as default, however you want to do it. And then once you click that save as default, then it will be the same consistently from patient to patient. So to change those, I could just hit Nurse Collect, uncheck blood, and then hit apply. So now I'm only looking at things that nurse or nursing, such as a patient care technician or a nurse, would collect. So based on where you work and your workflow, you may want to print your labels before you go into the patient room. So I'm going to collect this urine specimen. I've already gone in and given my patient all the instructions. They turn the call light on and say, I have this specimen ready for you. Before I go into that room, just based on where I work in med-surg or PCU or first floor, I'm going to go ahead and print my labels before I go back into the room. So to do that from this screen, once I'm in the Specimen Collect screen, I'm going to go ahead and click on the printer icon. I'm going to select Print All Labels. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Or from the item that I'm collecting, when you hover over the specimen collection container, so this is the urine cup 100 milliliters, this little icon pops up. It's a menu with a drop down. So I can click on that and select print label from here, and it will just print the label for that specimen. If we do go into the printer icon up here to print all labels, I'm going to have to uncheck the items that I'm not going to collect at the moment. I could do this simply by unchecking the select all box and then selecting urinalysis. So I did just show you two ways to print your labels, so either one will work. Then the next thing you need to do is select your printer. So this is the Zebra label printer that should be at least a minimum of one in each area. I know in acute care there's one in each hallway. CCU has one, ICU has one. In OR there's one in every room. ED has one for sure. Day hospital. So everybody has a minimum of one label printer. So I'm going to find my label printer. I'm going to go ahead and select it, and then I'm going to hit print. Now you can see on this when it's bold, that's my default printer. So if you want to set your location printer as a default, just select set as default. Okay. And then when it's bolded, you know it's going to print to that printer. So I select, hit print. Okay, so now I'm going to go get my labels off the printer, or my label for my urine specimen off the printer, and I'm going to take it down to my patient's room. And then I'm going to go ahead and if you haven't scanned the patient's band yet, You need to do that now. I can show you how to do that here in just a minute, but we're going to go ahead and verify our patient's name and date of birth. Then I'm going to adhere the label to the specimen container. Then I'm going to scan the specimen. So as you can see, after I scan the specimen label, it put a check mark here beside where it says urine cup 100 milliliters. Maybe I collected my specimen a half an hour ago and I'm just now getting ready to send it downstairs and to chart it. So I can actually change the date and time, or change the time. To do that, I'm going to hover over where it says urine cup 100 milliliter. That little menu icon is going to pop up again. I'm going to click the drop down. And in this drop down, I have some options. So this is where I can modify the date time. I can add a comment. I could also change the collection method. So I'm going to select modify date time. Now I'm going to cheat here and put a T in the date window, and it's going to throw in today's date and the current time. So I can just backspace out the time, and maybe I collected this right at noon. I'm going to click apply. It's now going to change the time in the line associated with my specimen to collect, and it's got the little modify symbol. That's what that blue triangle is. And then to collect it, I'm simply going to click sign. And now I've collected my specimen and documented it.